Italy is a country located in southern Europe. It is a long peninsula shaped like a boot. This peninsula stretches out into the Mediterranean Sea. Two large islands, Sicily and Sardinia, are also part of Italy. The country is surrounded by several seas, including the Adriatic Sea to the east. The Ionian Sea is to the southeast and the Tyrrhenian Sea is to the west. In the north, Italy shares borders with France, Switzerland, Austria and Slovenia. The Alps, a high mountain range, form a natural northern border. This geography has played a very important role in Italy's long and fascinating history. The location of Italy in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea has always been very important. This sea connects Europe, Africa and Asia. Because of its position, Italy became a crossroads for many different cultures and civilizations. Ancient peoples traveled and traded across these waters. This made the Italian peninsula a place where ideas, goods and people mixed. This mixing of cultures helped Italy to develop a rich and unique identity. Its central position also made it a strategic location for empires that wanted to control the Mediterranean world. Italy is famous for many things. It is known for its delicious food like pasta and pizza. It is also famous for its beautiful art and amazing architecture. Many great artists and thinkers came from Italy. The country has a long history of creativity and innovation. From the ancient Romans to the artists of the Renaissance, Italians have made huge contributions to world culture. Millions of tourists visit Italy every year. They come to see its historic cities, ancient ruins, and beautiful landscapes. The country has many UNESCO World Heritage Sites, more than any other country in the world. The story of Italy is a story of great achievements and also great challenges. It is the birthplace of the Roman Empire, which once ruled a vast area. It is also the cradle of the Renaissance, a period of incredible artistic and intellectual growth. Later, Italy went through a long process to become a single, unified nation. Understanding Italy's past helps us understand its present. It also helps us appreciate its big influence on the development of Western civilization and the world. Italy's journey through time is truly epic and continues to inspire people everywhere. The story of ancient Rome begins with myths and legends. The most famous legend is about two brothers, Romulus and Remus. They were said to be the sons of a princess and the god Mars. Their uncle, a jealous king, ordered them to be drowned in the Tiber River. However, a servant took pity on them and set them adrift in a basket. The basket washed ashore and a female wolf found them. The wolf cared for the babies and fed them her milk. Later, a shepherd found the twins and raised them. This story of survival and divine help was important to the Romans. As young men, Romulus and Remus decided to build a city. They chose a place near where the wolf had found them. This area had 7 hills and was close to the Tiber River. However, the brothers argued about which hill to build the city on. Romulus wanted to build on the Palatine Hill, while Remus chose the Aventine Hill. To settle the argument, they looked for a sign from the gods. Remus saw 6 vultures, but Romulus saw 12. This meant the gods favored Romulus. He began to build his city on the Palatine Hill. The argument between the brothers had a tragic end. Romulus started to build a wall around his new city. Remus, still angry, jumped over the low wall to mock his brother. Romulus became very angry and killed Remus. He then declared, "So will it be for all others who jump over my walls." Romulus named the city Rome after himself. According to tradition, this happened on April 21st, 753 BC. This date is still celebrated as the birthday of Rome. While this is a legend, archaeologists have found evidence of early settlements on the Palatine Hill from around that time. These early settlements were small villages of farmers and shepherds. The location was good because the hills offered protection. The Tiber River provided water and a route to the sea. The land was fertile, good for growing crops and raising animals. Over time, these small villages grew larger. They started to join together. Other peoples, like the Etruscans from the north and Greeks from the south, also lived in Italy. The early Romans learned many things from these neighbors. They learned about writing, art, religion, and ways to build their city. This was the humble beginning of a city that would one day rule a vast empire. After its founding, Rome was ruled by kings for about 240 years. There were 7 legendary kings, starting with Romulus. These kings helped Rome grow stronger and larger. They built temples, public buildings, and defenses. However, the last king, Tarquin the Proud, was a cruel ruler. The Roman people, especially the wealthy nobles, became very unhappy with him. In 509 BC, they drove Tarquin out of the city. They decided they would never again be ruled by a king. This event marked the end of the Roman monarchy. Instead of a king, the Romans created a new form of government. They called it a republic. In a republic, the people choose their leaders. The word republic comes from the Latin words res publica, which means public matter or public affair. The most important idea of the Roman Republic was that power should be shared. It should not be in the hands of just one person. The highest officials in the Republic were two consuls. They were elected every year and ruled together. This system was designed to prevent any single individual from becoming too powerful, like the kings of the past. The Roman Republic had a complex system of government. There was the Senate, which was a council of elders, mostly wealthy landowners. The Senate advised the consuls and had a lot of influence. There were also assemblies where Roman citizens could vote on laws and elect officials. At first, only the wealthy nobles, called patricians, had most of the power. The common people, called plebeians, had fewer rights. Over many years, the plebeians fought for more rights. They eventually gained the power to elect their own officials, called tribunes, to protect their interests. This struggle shaped Roman law and society. During the period of the Republic, Rome began to expand its territory. At first, it fought wars with its neighbors in Italy. Gradually, Rome conquered more and more land. By about 270 BC, Rome controlled most of the Italian peninsula. The Roman army was very strong and well organized. Roman soldiers were disciplined and skilled fighters. Rome also built excellent roads, which helped its armies move quickly. As Rome grew, it faced new challenges. One of its biggest rivals was Carthage, a powerful city in North Africa. Rome fought 3 long wars against Carthage, known as the Punic Wars, eventually defeating them and gaining control of the Western Mediterranean. The Roman Republic lasted for almost 500 years, but in its later years it faced many problems. Powerful generals with loyal armies fought each other for control. There were civil wars and political unrest. One of the most famous generals was Julius Caesar. He conquered Gaul, modern-day France, and became very popular. However, some senators feared he wanted to become a king. In 44 BC, a group of senators assassinated Caesar. His death led to more civil wars. Eventually, Caesar's adopted son Octavian defeated all his rivals. In 27 BC, Octavian was given the title Augustus by the Senate. This event marks the beginning of the Roman Empire. Augustus became the first Roman emperor. He brought peace and stability after many years of war. This long period of peace was called the Pax Romana, which means Roman peace. It lasted for about 200 years. During the Pax Romana, the Roman Empire grew to its largest size. It stretched from Britain in the northwest to Mesopotamia in the east. It included all the lands around the Mediterranean Sea, which the Romans called Mare Nostrum, or our sea. The Roman Empire made many great achievements. The Romans were brilliant engineers and builders. They built roads, bridges, aqueducts to carry water, and huge public buildings like temples and bathhouses. The Colosseum in Rome is a famous example of their building skills. Roman law also became very important. It influenced legal systems in many countries later on. Latin, the language of the Romans, became the basis for many modern European languages like Italian, French, Spanish, and Portuguese. The empire also helped spread ideas and cultures across its vast territory. However, after the Pax Romana, the empire began to face serious problems. There were economic troubles, political instability, and attacks from barbarian tribes along its borders. The empire became too large to govern effectively. In AD 285, Emperor Diocletian divided the empire into 2 halves, the Western Roman Empire and the Eastern Roman Empire, also known as the Byzantine Empire. The Western Roman Empire continued to weaken. In AD 476, the last Roman emperor in the West was overthrown. This date is often seen as the end of the Western Roman Empire, though the Eastern Empire continued for another 1,000 years. Section 5. The Middle Ages, a time of division and new beginnings. After the fall of the Western Roman Empire in 476 AD, Italy entered a long period known as the Middle Ages. This era was, well, very different from the time of Roman rule. The unity that Rome had provided was gone. The Italian peninsula became fragmented. Many different groups invaded and tried to control parts of Italy. These included, Germanic tribes like the Ostrogoths and the Lombards. The Byzantine Empire, which was the Eastern Roman Empire, also controlled parts of southern Italy for a time. This constant fighting and division made life difficult for many people. During this time, the power of the Pope, the head of the Catholic Church in Rome, grew stronger. The Church became a very important institution. It provided stability and continuity when governments were weak or changing. The Pope not only had religious authority but also gained political power. The Papal States, territories in central Italy ruled directly by the Pope, were established. The Church also played a crucial role in preserving learning and culture from the ancient world. Monasteries became centers of education, where monks copied old manuscripts and kept knowledge alive. One of the most important developments in Italy during the later Middle Ages was the rise of independent city-states. These were cities that governed themselves and the surrounding countryside. Cities like Venice, Genoa, Florence and Milan became very powerful and wealthy. They grew rich through trade, especially with the East. Venice and Genoa, for example, had large fleets of ships and controlled important trade routes in the Mediterranean Sea. These city-states were often republics, but some were ruled by powerful families. They competed with each other for power and territory, leading to frequent wars. Despite the political divisions and conflicts, the Middle Ages in Italy also saw important cultural and economic development. Universities were founded in cities like Bologna, which is, one of the oldest universities in the world. New styles of art and architecture, like Romanesque and Gothic, appeared in churches and public buildings. There was a growth in trade and banking, which laid the groundwork for future prosperity. The experiences of the Italian city-states, with their focus on commerce and self-government, were unique in Europe at the time. These developments set the stage for the incredible cultural flowering that was to come next, the Renaissance. Section 6. The Renaissance, a golden age of culture and ideas. The Renaissance was a truly remarkable period in Italian and European history. The word Renaissance means rebirth. It refers to a time when there was a great revival of interest in the art, literature and philosophy of ancient Greece and Rome. This period began in Italy in the 14th century and lasted until the 16th century. It was a time of extraordinary creativity and intellectual change. Italy, particularly cities like Florence, Venice and Rome, was at the heart of this cultural movement. The wealth of the Italian city-states, gained from trade and banking, helped to fund this artistic and scholarly activity. Many factors contributed to the beginning of the Renaissance in Italy. The country was home to the ruins of ancient Rome, which provided constant reminders of a glorious past. Italian scholars, known as humanists, began to study classical texts. They focused on human potential and achievements rather than solely on religious themes as in the Middle Ages. The invention of the printing press in the mid-15th century also played a vital role. It allowed ideas and knowledge to spread much more quickly and widely than ever before. This helped to fuel the intellectual curiosity and debate that characterized the Renaissance. The Renaissance produced some of the greatest artists in history. Figures like Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo Buonarroti, and Raphael Sanzio created masterpieces that are still admired today. Leonardo da Vinci was a true Renaissance man, a painter, sculptor, architect, musician, scientist, inventor, and more. His famous works include the Mona Lisa and the Last Supper. Michelangelo was a brilliant sculptor, painter, and architect, known for his statue of David and the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel in Rome. Raphael was celebrated for his harmonious and balanced paintings. These artists used new techniques like perspective to make their work more realistic and lifelike. The impact of the Renaissance was not limited to art. There were also great advances in science, literature, and political thought. Scientists like Galileo Galilei later made revolutionary discoveries about the universe, building on Renaissance curiosity. Writers like Petrarch and Boccaccio helped to shape the Italian language and produced influential literary works. Political thinkers like Niccolò Machiavelli wrote about how rulers could gain and keep power. The ideas and achievements of the Italian Renaissance spread throughout Europe. They profoundly changed the way people saw themselves and the world, marking a transition from the Middle Ages to the modern era. Section 7. The struggle for unity, il risorgimento, and a new nation. After the Renaissance, Italy once again experienced a long period of foreign domination and political division. For centuries, various parts of the peninsula were controlled by other European powers, such as Spain, Austria, and France. The idea of a united Italy seemed like a distant dream. However, in the 19th century, a powerful movement for Italian unification emerged. This movement was known as Il Risorgimento, which means the resurgence or the reawakening. It aimed to free Italy from foreign rule and bring the separate Italian states together into a single nation. Several key figures played crucial roles in Il Risorgimento. Giuseppe Mazzini was an influential writer and political activist. He believed in a united republican Italy and inspired many young Italians with his ideas of nationalism and liberty. He founded a secret society called Young Italy to promote unification. Giuseppe Garibaldi was a charismatic military leader. He led a volunteer army known as the Red Shirts in many daring campaigns. His most famous achievement was the conquest of Sicily and southern Italy in 1860. He was a popular hero and a symbol of Italian courage and patriotism. Count Camillo Benso di Cavour was the Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Piedmont Sardinia, the most powerful Italian state at the time. Cavour was a skilled statesman and diplomat. He believed that unification could be achieved through clever politics and alliances with other European powers. He modernized Piedmont Sardinia's economy and army. He also managed to get support from France in a war against Austria, which controlled parts of northern Italy. King Victor Emmanuel II of Piedmont Sardinia was the monarch who eventually became the first king of a united Italy. He provided the royal leadership needed for the movement. The process of unification was complex and involved wars, diplomacy, and popular uprisings. In 1859, Piedmont Sardinia, with French help, defeated Austria and gained control of Lombardy. In 1860, Garibaldi's expedition unified the south with Piedmont Sardinia. Other central Italian states also voted to join. On March 17, 1861, the Kingdom of Italy was officially proclaimed with Victor Emmanuel II as its king. However, some territories like Venice and Rome were still not part of the new kingdom. Venice was added in 1866 after a war with Austria. Rome, which was protected by French troops, became the capital of Italy in 1870, completing the unification process. Section 8. Italy in the modern era: challenges and global contributions. The newly united Kingdom of Italy faced many challenges in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. There were big differences between the industrializing north and the poor agricultural south. This created social and economic problems. The government worked to build a national identity and modernize the country. Italy also sought to establish itself as a colonial power, leading to involvements in Africa. The early 20th century brought further difficulties. Italy participated in World War I on the side of the Allies, Britain and France. The war was costly, both in human lives and resources, and led to social unrest afterwards. After World War I, Italy experienced a period of political instability. This allowed Benito Mussolini and his fascist party to rise to power in 1922. Mussolini established a dictatorship, ending democratic rule. He promised to restore order and make Italy a great power. Under Mussolini, Italy allied with Nazi Germany. This alliance led Italy into World War II on the side of the Axis powers. The war was disastrous for Italy. The country suffered heavy bombing, invasion, and a brutal civil war between fascists and anti-fascist partisans. Mussolini was eventually overthrown and killed in 1945. After the devastation of World War II, Italy made a fresh start. In 1946, Italians voted to abolish the monarchy and establish a republic. The country adopted a new constitution in 1948. With help from the United States Marshall Plan, Italy experienced a remarkable period of economic growth in the 1950s and 60s. This was known as the Italian economic miracle. Italy transformed from a largely agricultural country into a major industrial power. It became known for its manufacturing, particularly in areas like cars, Fiat and Ferrari, fashion, Armani and Versace, and design. Italy also became a founding member of the European Economic Community, now the European Union. Despite periods of political instability and economic challenges, modern Italy has made significant contributions to the world. Italian cinema, with directors like Federico Fellini and Vittorio De Sica, gained international acclaim. Italian design and fashion became globally influential, setting trends for style and elegance. Italian cuisine, of course, is loved worldwide. The country continues to be a major cultural force, attracting millions of visitors. Italy has also played an important role in international diplomacy and peacekeeping efforts. The journey of modern Italy shows a resilient nation that has overcome adversity to become a leading voice in Europe and the world. Section 9. Conclusion: Italy's enduring legacy and its mark on the world. Italy's journey through time is a rich tapestry woven with threads of glory, innovation, struggle, and resilience. From the legendary founding of Rome to its current place as a modern European nation, Italy has profoundly shaped the course of Western civilization. The Roman Empire, with its vast reach, left an indelible mark on law, language, engineering, and governance. Its roads connected a continent, its aqueducts brought life to cities, and its legal principles formed the bedrock of many modern justice systems. Even after its fall, the memory of Rome continued to inspire and influence future generations across the globe. The Renaissance, born in the bustling city-states of Italy, was another period of immense global impact. It was a rebirth not just for Italy, but for all of Europe, ushering in new ways of thinking about art, science, and humanity itself. The genius of artists like Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci, the insights of thinkers like Machiavelli, and the scientific curiosity that blossomed during this era changed the world forever. This period demonstrated Italy's incredible capacity for creativity and intellectual leadership, producing works and ideas that continued to be studied and admired centuries later. The path to a unified Italian nation in the 19th century, the Risorgimento, was a testament to the enduring spirit of the Italian people. It showed their desire for self-determination and national identity after centuries of division and foreign rule. In the 20th and 21st centuries, despite facing significant challenges, including wars and political upheavals, Italy has re-emerged as a strong democratic republic and a key player on the international stage. Its economic achievements, particularly in design, manufacturing and fashion, have made Made in Italy a global symbol of quality and style recognized everywhere. Today, Italy's influence is felt in countless ways around the world. Its art, music, literature and cinema continue to enrich global culture. Its cuisine is celebrated and imitated in almost every country. Its historical sites draw millions, eager to walk in the footsteps of emperors, artists and saints. The legacy of Italy is not just in its ancient ruins or its Renaissance masterpieces. It is in the vibrant living culture that continues to innovate and inspire. Italy's story is a reminder of the enduring power of human creativity, the complexities of history, and the continuous evolution of a nation that has given so much to the world.